Hello everybody and welcome back to Night Call. I am so glad you guys enjoyed this game because I really want to play more of it. So we're starting on night 2. It's time for us to grab more passengers and see if we can learn anything more about this mysterious judge. Hopefully we could get something that may give us a little more evidence pointing towards one of the people we have, because we still have several subjects or suspects to pick from. You open one eye. You stretch slowly. It's already night out. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 2. Alright. Oh, do I need to get gas? Oh, no, I don't. I still have a good amount of gas. What's that? I'm kind of curious about what that is. I just see an eye, and it makes me interested. And there's also that. What's that? Oh, no, that's just showing me that there's more people. Oh, what's this? You park a few streets away from the Argentinian embassy. You wait there for your contact. Oh, is this the woman from before? You sigh. It seems so odd to have a contact. So excessive. The guy is one of your regulars' poker buddies, a night watchman at the embassy. Oh! You get out of your taxi and walk towards the big metal gate. Clean lines, early 20th century, maybe. Lots of wrought iron. The gate opens and someone moves towards you. They indicate you should follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if it was... I was just about to say that. Like, I am the only survivor of a very prolific serial killer in this game. There's no way I am following a random person. Who are you? It's me, James, you're David's buddy. You immediately recognize his accent. You don't feel like you're in any danger, and you decide to follow him. Okay, good. It's important to double check in a situation like this. You walk into a narrow covered passageway, probably the entrance to a parking garage. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. The lighter lights up his face for a second. A young man with curly hair, pale skin. He looks young, very young. That'll be 250 euros. What? Is it worth it? I got as much as I could, so yeah. You want information on Gordashir? I got info on Gordashir, and it'll cost you 250 euros. So, what'll it be? Alright, well, we have a gas, and we can pick up more passengers after this, so, can I bargain? He raises his hand in front of his chest. His accent becomes stronger. No, it's 250 euros or nothing. If someone learns I fished around, they'll fire me on the spot. Alright, I'll pay. Oh, that hurt. For that price, you hope the intel is good. You pay. Listen up, because I'm not going to say it twice. Gordashir is definitely a colonel from the junta, one of the few who wasn't arrested and put on trial. He was responsible for torturing dozens of political opponents. He tortured and killed them. You know, we don't like him much here, but the rich Argentinians in Paris love him. They really respect him. Respected him. The difference doesn't seem important to him. Yeah, if it makes you happy. He looks back at you. There's one last thing. I read in a newspaper that the killer wrote a message in chalk. Time's up. It was the slogan at the end of the junta. A sort of watchword from the opponents. It was time for them to go. You get it? You nod. A second later, you're back in your taxi, with a hole in your wallet, but with new information on one of the victims. If you follow this lead, maybe your investigation will move forward. You start the car and get back to your shift. Alright, we need to make money, because if intel is costing money, then we need to make sure we actually have some intel. Why is that one flashing? Does that mean they have info for us, or is it just like that's the closest person? Let's figure out. Or find out, not figure out. Proper English. Ah. Distance. That's not a bad distance. I will accept. You immediately recognize the passenger who just climbed into the back seat of your cab. His face has been plastered all over the news for the last few weeks. He's a lawyer. A lawyer who is representing a terrorist. He gives you an address and you start driving. He holds your gaze in the rearview mirror like he's trying to read your mind. You drive across a virtually empty Paris. Behind you, the lawyer nervously consults his notes. Everything all right? I'm prying. He answers without looking up. Yes. You get the message and leave him alone. You continue driving without saying a word. Your passenger mutters. Ugh, why did he say that to the cops? He's not taking this seriously. Doesn't get it. Idiot. There again. He says it again. Ugh. Is he contradicting himself or just... You glance in your mirror. The lawyer looks like a smaller version of himself. You sure everything's... I'm not gonna say... He doesn't want me to say anything. Maybe if I stay quiet, I'll hear more. Your eyes meet in the rearview mirror. You see him start to break. I can't take it anymore. He takes a deep breath. He loses control of his voice. This guy is a real asshole. He's not just a monster, he's a total idiot. Tears form at the corners of his eyes. I've never seen such a moronic defendant. You know what it's like to defend a moron? You know what it's like to get only 3 hours of sleep a night so you can defend a fucking moron? Do you have any idea? He yells so loudly the windows shake. What is that, a grin face? Are you talking about... Yes, of course I'm talking about him. Who else? Who else could I possibly be talking about? You've seen my face in all the magazines, all the papers, right? His voice teeters, blind with rage. That's me, the terrorist's best friend, a traitor to his country. He pauses, barely, just in the time to take a deep breath. Jesus effing Christ already! He kicks the seat in front of him. Jesus! He calms himself down. He steadies his breath. I'm the one who agreed to it. I actually fought to represent him. Why? It's my own damn fault I'm being dragged through the mud. He raises his hand, snickers. Yeah, I admit it. At first I thought it was pretty great. Being on TV, all the interviews, journalists asking my opinion on about everything. I shook so many hands, said so many words, sentences, yet I actually said nothing. When I worked in the hood, not a single person cared about my work. And now, in 5 hours, I have to be on the radio. In 7, on TV. He pauses, breathes. His voice sounds further and further away. You should get some rest. He chuckles. Rest? No way. Actually, it's simple. I almost never sleep. When I lie in bed, I stare at the ceiling and go over the evidence in my head. He sits up. It's barbaric, disgusting, so horrific it's almost unreal. He lets out a sigh from somewhere deep in his body. And then I discover my client bought nails, the nails that were in the bombs, at the corner market, and he kept the receipt. He kept the fucking receipt. Folded it in half and slipped it into his wallet. That's what I see when I close my eyes. Disemboweled bodies and a receipt for €2 worth of nails. Why? His voice raises quite high. Why, for God's sake? He thought he could expense it when he got to heaven? He pauses. So stupid and so dangerous. He disgusts me. He revolts me. Why defend him then? Because everyone has the right to an attorney. Everyone, without an exception. Otherwise, justice is no longer just. Okay, I can agree with that. His fit of rage subsides. His fingers are shaking. When I signed on, I thought I'd be representing someone crazy, and I find out he's just a moron who's played too many video games. The guy has never even read the holy book they used to justify their so-called acts of martyrdom. He read a few passages online. Passages online. Do you have any idea what a complete moron he is? He chuckles. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I shouldn't have said all that. He takes a deep breath. I don't have anyone else to talk with about it. All the other lawyers avoid me like the plague. My mother can't understand why I'm doing this. She's so ashamed she went back to Algeria. He's shaking. I get the shame. What I don't get is when people just lump things together. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a murderer. he's a terrorist, but... I mean... no one else would do it. Yeah, so what? Do I get a prize? I guess no. No, I get spit on every day. Why? For a moron. We could hang him right here, right now, and no one, I'm telling you, would shed a tear. He stays quiet for a moment, catches your gaze. That's why I keep doing this. He slows his breathing. For equality, our country was founded on it. These rights have been abused far too often for me to look the other way. His anger seems to be lifting. The taxi has almost reached its destination. In the back seat, the lawyer is much calmer. His voice is soft. I needed to be reminded of this. This will serve as a lesson. He looks you in the mirror and bores into you with his gaze. It's odd, isn't it? That I ran into you tonight. I mean, as if... No, forget it. You pull over. He pays his fare. Wait, don't take this the wrong way, but... He hands you another bill. Here, this is for you. For listening. For hearing what I had to say. I'll take it. I need the money. You slide the bill into your pocket. He looks relieved, gathers his belongings strewn across the back seat. As he's getting out of the cab, you realize he left an envelope behind. For a second, one tiny second, you hesitate. It could be something important. He gets out of the taxi, walks a few steps away, and turns around to wave at you before entering a bistro. You turn around and grab the envelope you suspect left behind. You'll open it when you get home tonight. Wait, is he one of the suspects? No, that couldn't be it. I must be missing something. If he was a suspect, he totally would have killed me, right? Is that Santa Claus? What is it? I gotta see this. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus. Driving in a taxi. Santa. Sure, why not? Your next passenger smells like beer. No, it's even worse. It's like every single fiber of his Santa suit has been soaking in a keg. Come on, dash away. His breath is 96% brandy. Your eyes are starting to sting. I parked somewhere near Champs Elysees on... Shit. The name of the street is... His head is spinning and he does his best to hang on to the door. Impasse... It'll come back to me. Go ahead, drive. You start driving and silently wonder how to ask your passenger if he has enough money to cover fare. You glance back at your passenger. He's mumbling to himself, but you can't quite make out what he's saying. Christmas is over, so why is he still dressed up? You have a nice evening? Oh, fabulous! A smile spreads across his face. And I really needed it. He lowers his voice. He's confiding in you. After working my ass off all year long, I like to hit my favorite pubs. I get monumentally wasted. He guffaws. Here, in Paris, there's a bunch of bistros perfect for just such an occasion. No one talks to you and they have white wine so dry it eats away at the inside of your mouth. Like a pineapple? And so many different types of brandy. Pear brandy, cognac. He closes his eyes in delight. And sometimes I order just one eeny-weeny beer. To cleanse the palate. He's almost whispering. Okay, it's usually not one of them fancy microbrews there. He jumps. Oops, but don't tell anyone, okay? Just imagine if people found out Santa Claus thought the beer here tasted like piss. He laughs at the sparkling laugh. When he stops, it's just to throw out non-comedically. Anyway, you can't say anything anymore. Honestly, with all the trouble I go to, people should just leave me the fuck alone. All those fair weather activists, they still want their little snot-nosed miracles to get the latest stupid toy. Oh, hey, speaking of snot-nosed kids. What ends with this manure pile of a new generation? Oh no, he's a boomer. Santa, no! 50 years back, you could give a kid a book and he'd go on about it with his whole life. All starry-eyed. But today's little whiners, what an eyesore. Fucking hell. They want to have it all, but they don't like anything. They have GSMs when they're 8. Those things cost a whole month's of wages. How can you possibly make them happy after that? How? He's staring at you, waiting for an answer. No idea. He raises his hand. At least you're honest enough to say you don't know, and I appreciate your honesty. Thanks, Santa. Am I on that nice list? He closes his eyes, like he's taking a moment's rest. You want me to tell you what they really want? What the kids these days want are machine guns and dolls whose hair you can fix. He seems to have calmed down for a second, but it was just an illusion. Speaking of which, both girls and boys like those dolls whose hairs can you fix. He twitches his mustache in silence. Back when I still made kid toys for kids, I can tell you they couldn't care less about him. Couldn't give a damn. They just wanted to have fun, play, laugh, and forget that their parents were losers. He leans over to you, rife with anger. Fuck, that's the real problem, I'm telling you. Parents are losers, idiots. Putting kids into this world, those guys haven't got a clue. Am I right or am I right? I mean, have you seen the state of the ice cap these days? This conversation is confusing. Have you? Huh? 'Cause there's not much of it left. He pauses. Take a breath, man. Now, I can't say it's all bad. I don't have as many polar bears coming into my yard. Damn nasty beasts, vicious and mean. Not sad to be rid of them. He heaves a long sigh through his beard. Before, things were different. Tears form at the corner of his eyes. Shit, I can't talk about the past without crying like a little girl. He throws you a sideways glance. No need to stare. Oh, sorry. You don't even have time to react, and he starts to back into his rant. I remember you, you know. To tell the truth, I remember everyone. Every single person. Yeah, you got the list. You were an angry one. Is so terribly angry. Are you the real Santa? And your letters, your handwriting. Holy fuck, were they held to decipher. Don't worry, though. The elves handle all that for me. You could hear a hint of disgust in his voice when he brought up the elves. Oh no, did they unionize? Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to do nothing. Yeah, you were just furious. It's like someone punched you in the stomach. Your brother was giving you hell. Someone wrenching your gut. Man, what a... He suddenly thinks of something and stops talking. His gaze wanders outside. Yeah, anyway, let's talk about something else. Is our brother the one on trial right now? How do you know all of that? You still don't get who I am? You stare at him in the rearview mirror. I thought it was a costume, man! Look, kid, I'm not gonna spell it out for you. And something tells me you'd rather avoid the subject. A little something called jail. Oh, wait. Okay, so you're not the real Santa? All of my dreams. Another punch to the stomach. So there's your Christmas present. We're not gonna talk about it. He smiles, opens his eyes wide. Wait, I think we're almost there. Slow it down a bit, kid. He searches outside for... What are we looking for? We're looking for my sleigh, kid. What else? He looks at you with pity. Shouldn't be hard to spot. There's a sleigh and a couple half-dozen reindeer. He heaves a funny sigh. I'm sure it's like in an alleyway. Oh, right there! Turn right! You obey and go up a street you were on a few seconds before. A few meters down, your passenger stifles a yelp. Oh shit, it was right there! Drive around the block. You turn again. In back, your passenger is mumbling. I'm gonna have to get one of those thingamajigs. GPSs help me find my sleigh more easily. You eventually pull over in an alley. No light, a few empty office buildings, and some trash cans that haven't been emptied for days. Kid, sorry about before. I didn't mean, to bring up any sore points. He pays his fare. Watch your back, kid. Thanks, Santa, for warning me to watch out for murderers. He gets out and slams the door. He slips on the wet sidewalk, grabs onto a street lamp, and with a heavy, awkward step, he clumps along the alley. I'm gonna stay. I want to see the reindeer. You sit for a moment, watching him. At the end of the alleyway, he starts rummaging through a pile of boxes, pushes the trash can on wheels aside, and disappears. I'm gonna stay a bit longer. A few minutes go by, and nothing. You turn the keys and start driving again. You open the window for a second, hoping to get rid of the alcohol fumes. Something tells you they'll stick around for a while. Damn it! I can't believe Santa's not a good tipper. Fine. Alright, I still have a good amount of gas. Is there someone near us? How about we go... You're very close, so let's go to you. What do you have to talk... What is that? Hang on, what is that? Okay, well, we're not going to worry about it. Annabelle Robert. Your passenger slips into the back seat, dragging a backpack that apparently weighs a ton. Ooh, I like your design. Do you want to put that in the trunk? She refuses politely, with a shake of the head. Thanks, but I'm going to have to get used to keeping it with me. It's going to be on my back for an entire month. Oh, are you backpacking? You smile and start the cab. A glance in the rearview mirror. Your passenger is rather young, and the camera around her neck looks very expensive. Her backpack, scarf, and clothes are fairly worn. Going hiking? No, not really. She seems a little embarrassed by your question. I'm on my way to Greece to join an NGO rescue vessel. And then I'm gonna let her go on. That helps migrants trying to make the crossing. And I'm going to do a story on them. Oh, are you a journalist? She smiles, the first since you set off. Yes, a photojournalist. They make the crossing even in winter? They make the crossing whenever they get the chance, regardless of the time of year or weather. The EU has just closed its surveillance and rescue program. Only non-governmental associations are doing anything to help now. So I'm on my way. I volunteered. I even made a fuss to get the assignment. Her tone of voice is increasingly shrill. I read first-hand accounts. I talked to journalists who have worked on the subject. I just can't ignore the whole thing. She gives a short laugh. I even played a beautiful video game about refugees. Beautifully done, really powerful. I knew I couldn't just sit back and watch. This was my chance to show the world what's going on there. Your passenger's phone starts to ring. Oh, sorry, As she glances at the caller name, her face freezes. She sighs, a troubled smile flickering across her face, then takes the call. Hi, Dad. I'm in a cab, right. Yeah, I told you. I tried, but he wouldn't change his mind. Come on, Dad. I already told you, I'll be fine. They wouldn't be sending me if there were... She moves the phone a bit farther from her ear. Come on, Dad, stop. Dad. Listen, everything is going to be fine. I'll be there for 20 days with a group of professionals who have been doing this for years. That's right, a group of rescue professionals. Oh, you're lying. Would you just stop? She sighs heavily. It's no use. She's been down this road 1,000 times. I'm gonna see if I can help her out. We're about to get out to a tunnel, mademoiselle. You're going to cut out. The young one looks up at you in surprise. Then her face lightens up. Did you hear that? I have to go. I'll call you back as soon as I'm... She's interrupted again. That's right. I'll call back. She hangs up, wide-eyed, and breathes a long sigh. My parents, they can be a little much at times. She smiles. Anyhow, thanks for jumping in there. You can sense the tension, the wave of frustration and anxiety welling up inside of her. Her unhappiness and anxiety are palpable. She closes her eyes, collecting her thoughts, trying to dispel her negative emotions. If only I had a little time. Are you okay? I'm fine, it's just my parents. They're a little... Her hands flutter in the air for a moment. I'll be fine, really. It's just stress. I was just thinking that I'd like to be able to do a little yoga. It really helps me relax. It's an amazing way to unwind, to calm down and release tension. There must be a yoga room somewhere in the airport. I can pull over if you'd like. She looks at you closely, not sure what to think. What do you mean? There's a gas station up ahead, a rest area for truck drivers. There won't be anyone there right now. All right. Sure, why not? There's no more talk for a few minutes. You and your passenger glances out the window, every now and then. You drive past the gas station, the main building, the trucks, then get to a small, quiet rest area. A clearing, lit up by your headlights and the moon, suddenly appears. There's no one around. The air is cool. The young woman leans in towards you.
Is this the place?
You nod.
It's incredibly calm, as if we're in the middle of the woods.
Her eyes take in every detail, every tree and bush.
Do you come here often?
Whenever I can. She nods. She understands.
It's so quiet. Even in the middle of winter, it looks so peaceful.
She reaches for the door handle.
You won't leave without me, will you?
Of course not. She gets out of the cab and puts her things on a picnic table. The wind is chilly. She shivers. She gives you one last look, then closes her eyes. For a minute or two, you watch her doing yoga exercises. Her eyes remain closed. Her face gradually starts to relax. A truck behind you pulls out of the rest area. This place has a calming effect on you too. Some summer nights, you come here to take a nap. The young woman is stretching now. The headlights cast soft shadows among the dark foliage. In the winter, you smoke a cigarette or two, waiting for potential clients to land. The young woman gets back in the cab. She says nothing. There's no need. You sense she's recovered her calm and is ready to face the rest of her journey. You drive away, leaving behind the clearing, the rest area, the gas station. The young woman is sleeping. The road keeps passing by, and before long, you're approaching the airport. A moment later, you turn down the radio. The song fades. I'll pull over here. It'll be easier for you to get out of the cab. You get to the airport drop-off zone. A couple of colleagues greet you with a wave. A few bleak-looking passengers are struggling with huge suitcases and car trunks. A security guard sitting on a luggage cart smokes a cigarette, clearly exhausted. Your passenger pays the fare, collects her things, but doesn't leave the cab.
Thank you for getting me out of that horrible phone call. I love my parents, but they're suffocating. It could have gone on for hours. So, thank you. I have to go now. I have the feeling my parents are going to call again. Might as well go in where it's warm and I'm not a disturbance.
Take good care of yourself.
I will. Promise.
She gets out of the cab with all her gear. Your eye follows her as she heads to the terminal. The airport doors close behind her. You sit there for a minute or two, all by yourself. There's no one around. May as well head out as soon as possible. Ooh, that was a good tip! Oh, thank you. Oh, she was really sweet. Alright, do we have more customers? We do. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna look around. That guy's flashing. So that might be a good one. There's you, there's you, there's you. You're flashing. Should we just drive all the way down there? That'll pass right by that guy, but you know what? Let's see what you have to say all the way down there. Oh, I can turn the radio on? I probably won't, just in case of copyright. Let's see what we can do. And then after that, I may have to get some gas. Oh, I have a timer. I see. I didn't notice that before. Oh, can we make it? We can make it. We can make it. I'm coming for you. I'll get you where you need to go. I'm here. I'm here. Claudia Campos. Accept. You pick up your next passenger in front of the Paris office of the medical examiner, the morgue. When she gets in, you're surprised. How can she be a suspect? Oh, they are suspects. I'm just curious, if I'm picking up suspects, this is very risky. Are they just hoping that I don't recognize them, or are they willing to kill me again? Because they already tried. Well, we'll just be quiet about it. So the yellow flashing are suspects. Her face, beautiful and soft, doesn't go with her clothing, her style, or her attitude. She gives you her address, and you start driving. Her voice is dry, frank, and she has an accent you have trouble determining. South American, maybe. She seems far away, lost in thought. A few seconds go by, and she still hasn't taken so much as a look at you. What if I say, I'm gonna probe once, and then if she doesn't respond, I'll back off, because it worked with the lawyer. Everything okay? She almost jumps out of her seat and looks like she wants to disappear. Yes, everything is fine. That accent again, the one you can't place. Long day? In a manner of speaking. Some days are
harder than others. Some days take more out of you. They're more demanding than others. A sad smile runs across her face like a shooting star. A second goes by, slowly, very slowly. Then the meteorite explodes. Your passenger breaks down. I'm gonna let her cry. Sometimes you just need to let it out. And sometimes you need someone to let you. Between sobs, you hear her say something. Give me a minute. Please. Without a word and without the slightest noise, you slow down. The road passes by slowly, in no hurry. After a moment, she sits up. Can I ask you something? You nod. She takes a deep breath. This may seem like a ridiculous question, or at least a stupid one. Actually, it's completely stupid. You give her an encouraging smile. But I'd like you to hit on me. She blushes and immediately follows up. I mean, not for real, just for play. Like we're at a bar, like you want to buy me a drink. She shakes her head. Forget it, it's stupid, totally stupid. Ask for clarification. What is it you want me to do exactly? My job is very difficult, complicated. I don't get out much, I'm not that much of a partier. And internet dating, not my thing. It makes me really uncomfortable. She sighs. Maybe I'm desperate, but I feel like being hit on. Yes, hit on, plainly and simply. I could care less if that shocks you or if you think it's funny, as long as you play along. Silence. So? I'll accept because you may have attempted to murder me. I thank you. She smiles discreetly at you. That warms my heart, really. I just have a few rules, if you don't mind. First, I don't want to talk about Argentina, my home, my parents. Avoid the subject. Okay, Argentina, home, parents, off limits. That's 3 things so far. She pauses. Does that work for you? Oh, that's it? You nod. Good. Second, I don't want to talk about work. Okay, so work is also off limits. I'm a medical examiner. Do you know what that is? Yes. I cut open dead bodies. I take out bullets, tumors, cirrhosis-filled livers. At first, people are always fascinated, but they quickly get disgusted. So, nothing about work. Let's start, if you're ready. You nod. We're in a bar. It's not very late. Not very late, but we're the only ones there. I'm alone at the bar, finishing a drink. I get up to leave. Silence. Please, go ahead. Hitting on a passenger. This is definitely a first. You've got to find a good line, something that will set the tone. She seems like the type of person, just from our interaction so far, who would appreciate someone being straightforward, so I'm going to attempt straightforward. And I'm going to be straightforward by being like, hey yo, tell me about your parents. No, straightforward line. I'm thirsty. Care to join me? She gives you a weird look, then gets a hold of herself. She's trying to play along. Perhaps. The night is young. Her voice is softer, her accent stronger. She sits up a little and points to the imaginary bar next to her. Buy me a drink? Of course. How about a little game? You look like a red wine kind of guy. Her voice grows husky. You like the kind that goes straight to your head. Makes it pound a bit. Of course, I may be wrong. And what about me? What is my kind of drink? Oh, I don't know about alcohol. She rolls the R on the last word. Something... I don't know. Something strong. You're strong. She blinks. What do you mean by that? Oh, fuck. Did I fuck it up? You drink to forget. You're lying to yourself and you're trying to forget something. She stares at you. I think we should stop the game now. You clearly have no desire to play. Fuck! You try to say something, but she puts her hand up to stop you. I said stop. I shouldn't have asked you to play this game. It was impolite of me. Ah, I fucked it up! Silence. I got what I deserved. No! I mean, you may be a murderer. She smirks and clams up. You can sense her hostile vibes. Oh, damn it! You continue driving in silence. A bit later, you pull up in front of her building.
She pays her fare, then something inside of her breaks. She manages to get a couple words out between the tears. "Excuse me." She hands you the fare and gets out of the cab. You watch her until she disappears into her building. Dang it. Oh, I deserve that. That wasn't good at all. That was really bad. Hey, there's the other guy. Let's see if we can turn this night around. We still have a little time. Maybe we can talk to you? Okay, I'm like on the Arrow Ace spectrum. I don't know how to flirt. I don't know alcohol. The door opens. It's Herve, a homeless man like hundreds of others in Paris. You've known each other for years, and every now and then he asks a favor of you, to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge. "Hey, buddy. What's up, pup?" He has a strange verbal tic that you never really understood. You start the cab. Herve seems pretty happy with himself today. In the rearview mirror, you watch him run his tongue over his lips, as if mentally preparing for a good meal. He catches your eye and smiles. "Sorry, I'm a bit out of it today." "So I see. It's just I had a bad week. You know, a really bad week. Then yesterday..." He hesitates, as if he can't believe what he's about to say, like it's too good to be true. The lines around the corner of his eyes that show his real age crinkle slightly. Herb gives a little laugh. "Serious, man. I don't believe in God, you know. I don't believe in all that bullshit shit. Doesn't make any sense. Some guy with a beard up in the sky. Never got it, what people saw in him. Anyhow, God. None of us believe in him on the street." His eyes crinkle up at the corners again. "I mean, we believe when the soup kitchen goes to the church. Yeah, sure, we believe in him then." He flashes his teeth and lets out a harsh, raspy laugh. A pause. "So, yes, I'm gonna say nothing." The ride continues in silence. Herb keeps his eyes fixed on the passing streets. Suddenly, he slaps his thigh. "Well, damn, I forgot what I wanted to tell you, pal." Another laugh. His eyes light up all of a sudden. "Oh yeah, yesterday." He's talking faster now, an incessant flow. "I was starving, man. It was pretty bad. Toby and I gone through all the garbage bins in the neighborhood. Toby, he's this German guy. He says he prefers France, that we're more generous here. So I was starving." Herv's eyes tear up. His voice drops off. A faraway look comes over him. A lengthy pause. "Are you okay?" He snaps out of it. "Yeah, like I was saying. I was saying that, yeah, I was starving. And I was hanging out near the supermarket. A fancy neighborhood, but not too fancy. No cops." He gives you a wink. "That's always a plus. And then there was like this guy I sometimes see around, a young guy, just a kid. He comes out of the supermarket with his groceries, and before I can even say a word, he hands me a can of cassoulet. A can of cassoulet as big as a beach ball." Herv's face lights up. "I didn't even know they made them that big." Herv busts out laughing, and his eyes wander back to the street. "Was it good?" "Delicious." He closes his eyes, raises his hand, and waggles his fingers. "I love it when the cassoulet sausage gets all mushy and it melts in your mouth. Don't even need to warm it up." A smile spreads over his face. "Meat mash." He opens his eye. Something out the window catches his eye. Herv suddenly pats you on the shoulder. "Hold on, wait. I'm going to get out here if you don't mind. You park the cab as soon as you see an empty space. "Thanks, man." He's looking out the window. "Yeah, I think that's him. Say nothing?" You observe Herb in the rearview mirror. He reaches for the door, then stops and looks back at you. "And, thanks for the ride, man." Without another word, he opens the door and gets out. "This time, I'm gonna get him." "What?" A moment later, he vanishes into the dark alley. "I'm gonna sit." Your eyes scan the dark, narrow street, but you can't make anything out. Something moves in the distance. A silhouette, probably Herv, now at a run. The form darts under a street lamp. It is Herv, holding something in his hand. He immediately vanishes from sight. You sit there for a minute, and then you switch on the ignition and pull out of the parking space. That was suspicious. Okay, we didn't make any money off of that, but that's okay. That was very curious. Alright, home time? I don't think we have time. Yep, we don't. Okay, you know more about your clients. You've met Salim. I stole his documents. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. But I screwed up with the other lady. I met Santa. Oh, I lost a lot of money. Current balance, $380, $375. Santa talked about your brother. You did not find Santa's sleigh. How was I supposed to find Santa's sleigh? So it was Santa? You met Annabelle. Annabelle didn't appreciate your icebreaker. Yeah, I could understand that. You helped Annabelle keep it together. Annabelle did yoga. You've met Claudia. Yeah, and I screwed that one up, didn't I? You've met her. Yeah, it didn't even say anything about Claudia. Or Herb. Alright, well, I guess let's go back to... Alright, at the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name, written in thick black marker on the front. Your real name. Oh, that's the cop. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information, just as Bussett promised. Oh, Herb is one of the freaking people. You lay them on the table. Take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. You sigh and get to work. Alright, let's see what we got. Picture of crime scene 4. We've also got a police report. Victim 1. Not enough time. Oh, I have time? Oh, Salim's files! Ah! Why didn't I look at those? Alright, let's look at the board real quick. What have we got? Maybe I can investigate those next time? Oh, man. I need to pay more attention. Okay, justice. Okay, so I'm starting to get this now. So you're defending a terrorist. And so that could be true to you. Killer knew the victims, researched them. Killer fought victim 1. Weapon, rare gun. You deserve this. Claudia, I still don't know what to do about you. I'm so mad. Why didn't I look at the files? Can I look at those later? I really hope I can, because otherwise I stole those for nothing. No sign of violence? Autopsy report victim 3. So, which one would have a no sign of violence? We know the weapon is a rare gun. The spent bullet case might connect to him. So I'll move this over here. Killer knew the victims or researched them. Killer fought victim 1. Death equals execution. You deserve this. Time is up. Killer left chalk mark on the first 3 crime scenes. Alright, I don't know. I'm not sure. I really hope I can look at these files later. So we have to be careful about what we investigate, I guess. Alright, we're learning. We're learning. You know, people's lives are at stake, but we're learning. So that is where we're going to end this episode. Next time, we'll hopefully try and get a little better about it. We have to especially be careful with the suspects, because I don't know if they know that we're on the lookout for them. I mean, they have to be suspicious, whoever it is, right? Or did they even know it was us? I mean, were we just an accidental casualty, or were we always part of it? I have to assume that we might be part of it, considering there's something going on with our brother and we've been to jail. Maybe we're someone who was a target, or maybe we were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That is also very likely. But either way, we have to be more careful and get our information faster. I should probably focus on getting some clients, some yellow, and then also getting other taxi people so we can talk to them too. And hopefully we can research those files next time too. I can't believe I didn't go for those first. I completely forgot. It slipped my mind. Alright, but that is where we're going to end it for today. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, don't flirt in the back of a taxi cab, and have a good day. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems.